Hello everyone, happy morning to all. This is Lakshman here from USAM Technology Solutions. Hope everyone's staying safe at their home. Soon we'll be back to our workplaces. Please don't worry. We are in our fourth week of Learn to Home webinar sessions. Thanks to all those who are attending our webinar sessions on a day-to-day basis. You are watching our live sessions on YouTube the channel of USAM Learning. Please do subscribe us and please do encourage us. We wish to continue this webinar sessions in the upcoming weeks also after the lockdown is getting over also. We'll be doing the webinars in a weekly manner. Weekly twice we'll be doing the webinars. Yes, today we are going to see about a structural tool which is there in Autodesk. What is a structural tool is there is Autodesk. We are going to see about it today. Someone would have heard about some people would have heard about the name Autodesk Robo Structural Analysis Professional, but many wouldn't have heard about the name. Yes, the solution which we have for design and analysis of RC members and steel members in Autodesk is Robo Structural Analysis Professional. Many would have heard this name. After hearing this name, you would have thought that is that the software regarding some robot mechanism or something like that? No. The answer is no. Robot structure analysis is purely an design and analysis tool. All of them, not many, I will not say many, all of them here would have heard about StatPro, right? So, yes, we are spoon fed with StatPro from our college time. So, all would have heard about StatPro. StatPro is an same analysis and design tool which is well known in the market. Bentley StatPro is well known in the market. Yes, our tool is same as like a StatPro, which will do design and analysis part. We are going to see about our tool, what its capacity is, and what and all it can do. Yes, dive into today's topic. It's Autodesk Robo Structural Analysis Professional. What's our today agenda? So, what and all we are going to see in our today's session? The first one is we are going to see about industry trends. Our goal today is to help you understand how Autodesk Robo Structure Analysis Professional software can help you meet your business challenges. We will discuss the key benefits that the software provides. You will see how it works and hear about other Autodesk solutions. That is the interoperability between the other Autodesk solutions. We will see about it. So then the conclusion and the next steps, what we are going to do about this, the live brief of our software. So Autodesk offers a portfolio of software tools that helps structural engineering teams take on today's project challenges. The extended Autodesk portfolio of products helps make it easier for structural engineers to more closely coordinate project documentation with extended team members. The Autodesk Structural Engineering portfolio of products provides benefits to the structural engineers, including the ability to design and document with more efficient and accuracy, take advantage of powerful building information modeling tools for simulation and analysis, tools to help optimize structural engineering workflows from design to fabrication. So, these are the solutions we are providing from Autodesk to the structural engineers. So, what are the basic structural industry trends we are facing in our day-to-day life? Adoption of building information modeling is an is the famous industry trends that is going on our day-to-day life. Building information modeling. BIM provides structural engineers with a competitive advantage by enabling the design, analysis, and optimization of structural systems. As owners, contractors, and designers continue to adopt BIM at a rapid pace, as you all know that BIM is emerging into a business, the future will be into the BIM. So all the contractors and engineers are making their way to the BIM. So the demand for structural engineering firms who have to embrace the BIM workflows increases. As I said, the first industry trend which is evolving is BIM. So adopting the BIM in the technology. So the second one will be decreasing new construction spend. So the global decline in the new construction spend is creating an opportunity to access and improve efficiency in existing building stock through renovation and retrofit projects. So then, this is also the continuing decrease in the new construction spend is also a major trend that is following on the day-to-day market. Then the last one will be more stringent requirements for codes and compliance. Yes, we do. We all will be doing the designs and compliance, and the structural engineers will be following the codes, designs, and compliance. Right. So that is also a trend. More efficient designs. As building owners increasingly demand buildings that are energy efficient and designs that adhere to more stringent structural design codes. Building teams can turn to software solutions to create more efficient structural designs. So, what all the design engineers and the building owners are thinking is to go on to the, as we all moving into BIM. BIM will be there will be some sort of standards will be there for BIM. So you should rely on the design codes. Actually, for major complex building and all, they will be relying on the design codes and they will be designing the building. But for a small residential building, the codes will not be followed and they will be doing in their experience thumb rule methods. They will be doing the things. So these are the major industry trends that we are following in our day-to-day construction industry. So because of this trends, we are having some business challenges, right? So what are all the business challenges? Increased project requirements with decreased budgets. Yes, of course, this is one of the most business issues we are facing here in our market. Project designs are becoming more increasingly complexes. Yeah. The buildings and the designs which are coming is complexity is getting high in the day-to-day manner. How will your business rise to challenge of managing these type of projects? So how will you be adopting to this complexities? So that is a major challenge. The second one will be finding new business in today's competitive economy. So now the economy and the competition here in our market is getting high on in the day-to-day basis. With fewer new construction projects in our current competitive economy, see you can see only as the real estate business in in the past has been some slowdown has been there. So the new projects which is coming over here in our hands are very low. So the competition in the market will be high. So we want to differentiate ourselves in this competitive economy, right? So this is also a business challenge. This is also a major business challenge we are facing. Then the last challenge which we are facing is spending too much time on inefficient tasks and disconnected workflow. We'll be doing many workflows and we'll be doing many tasks for our designs and all. But at last, what we will find is out to date result. So we want to set up an BIM adaptive workflows so that we will be adaptive and we'll be like unique from others. So spending too much time doesn't matter. So spending too much time for an good output doesn't matter, but spending too much time for an worthless output will not matter, right? So this is also a major business challenge in the construction industry, and in the design industry. So, what will be the solution for all these business challenges and the industry trends we are facing now? So, we want to see what will be the solution. So, we are going to give you the solution in Autodesk. So Autodesk RoboStructure Analysis offers you a smoother workflow and interoperability between other Autodesk softwares. Like you would have heard about, or all would have heard about Revit, right? So we'll be having an smooth workflow between Revit and RoboStructure Analysis. The software is versatile enough for simple frame or complex finite element analysis. So here we can do an analysis and design for a simple frame or a complexity finite element analysis. So we can do for both the things and for reinforced concrete design. So here we can do the design and analysis for RCC elements and for structural steel elements also. Autodesk RoboSection Analysis Professional provides support for performing different types of analysis on your structural model. This means that you only have to create your model once, but you can analyze your model n times. So upon which method you want, you can analyze the things n times. But the model which you are going to build is the first time only. But the analysis results and the analysis uh, which we are going to make will be up to n times. We can make analysis in any method, any one of the methods we have in the thing. The software includes supports for both steel, as I said earlier, it includes supports for both steel and concrete frames. So here it will allow you to do simple and effective analysis like non-linearity, such as P delta analysis, tension or compression members, and you can do support cables and plastic hinges analysis also. It has it also enables you to explore the response of your structure like seismic responses, dynamic loadings, harmonic frequencies, and earthquakes. So this also we can do in a software like like all our design native design and analysis software does these things, right? So our software also do the harmonic analysis like earthquake and seismic things and all we can do here in our RoboStructure analysis. As I said, more rapidly analyze and integrated support analysis of even large and complex structures. So we will see, as per the solution we saw now, we will see what are all the inefficient structural workflows we are doing in the current trend. So, incorporating analysis results back into the structural designs, which will be the tedious work. See, a designer will be designing in some other software and he will be giving the results to the modeler. So, a designer alone, he will be doing his part alone. So, again, he will be passing the things to a modeler, he will be detailing and drafting the things, and he will be producing it to the site people. A designer will be doing his part alone because his part is to design the things. So incorporating analysis to the designs can be tedious and prone to mistakes. So there will be more mistakes, right? So while passing the things to other, if you are doing a single work, if you are going to do a design and if you are going to incorporate the design and model, yes, it's fine. You will be having no doubts and you will be doing the things in a perfect manner and you will be submitting your things. But once the thing is passed to the other people, he'll be having more doubts. He'll be asking us at one point of time. At one point of time, he'll be assuming the things and he'll be doing the things. So it will be lead to a more mistake zones. So often multiple structural applications are used for this workflow, and it is difficult to ensure that the feedback from analysis gets properly coordinated and included with the design updates. As I said earlier, this is the most what to say most of the companies and most of the things are undergoing this challenge in the structural design part. So then transferring the design and analysis results to a fabrication is tedious and tedious process also. So this is also the same thing like you're giving your work to a modeler and doing the work like this. We'll be having the position when the work is going to the fabrication part. They'll be having some doubts and they'll be doing the things. So if it is in 3D, they'll not be having any problems over there. So they'll know the things where and all the connections should come and that kind of things will be very known to them. So then the next thing will be lack of support for local coordination and code requirements. So lack of support for local coordination and code requirements can make it difficult to get designs approved. This can also lead to decreased confidence in structural engineering design teams. Code requirements. So most of the software will not have all code requirements, right? So we don't have only one code in the market for a whole world. Each country has its own code, and each country has its own requirement as per their geographical conditions. So so the workflow here will be adopting the codes. So adopting the codes will be a most incorporated challenge here in the designers world. So then the next thing will be capitalize on interoperability. So how we are going to this workflows, how we are going to get rid of, and how we are going to make the workflow good and in a position matter. So here in our software we are having many structural engineering solutions, like we are having robot structure analysis as a design and analysis tool, and we are having Revit. In Revit, we are having Revit structure, which is a most powerful modeling tool, and we are having advanced steel, which helps us for doing the steel detailings. So the interoperability between these softwares will be good. Efficiently transfer drawings from design and analysis to fabrication solutions. As we saw in the business challenge, to the fabrication solutions, it will be a little tedious job, right? So but here in the Autodesk platform, we will not be having that problem. So we can efficiently transfer our drawings from design and analysis to the fabrication solution software. So use a solution that supports local conditions, including languages, design codes, and units. Yes, our software consists of all local languages, and we do have all codes, and we do support all units. So these are all the challenges we saw in the before page. Now our software has covered all of these challenges, and we'll be seeing it how it works in our software. So now we saw what is robot structure analysis and what are all the main things which we are facing in as and challenges which is covered in robot structure analysis, right? So now we are going to see what are all the top features in our software. So in robot structure analysis, what are all the top features? So the first one will be collaboration, and the second one is speed and the versatility. So collaboration. So what does this term collaboration means? Because a designer in a designer world, the model should be built again and he should design for the codes given, right? So but here in our Autodesk world, so the collaboration comes easily, because the modeler, the architect or a modeler will be doing the models in Revit, and then the designer will be taking the model and he will be designing the things as per the code given, right? So now the interoperability between these two softwares without any loss. So you're going to do your model there in the Revit, and you're going to bring your model directly to the robot analysis, and you're going to apply your codes, apply your loads, and you're going to design the things. You don't want to model it again, the time which is taken will be less. So the designer works will be getting less as he don't want to model the things. So here in our Autodesk platform, utilize the bidirectional links with Autodesk Revit structure software and advanced steel. As Revit, which is meant for RCC and structural steel, we are having our own tool called advanced steel, which is meant for structural steel detailing software. So the collaboration between these softwares, the bidirectional links between these softwares is perfect here in our robot structure analysis. So we can adopt the BIM technology over here by using these tools. Now by using this collaborative options, we can minimize the inefficiencies with better analysis and designs, so that we'll not be having any errors, and we'll not be leading to any errors. So we'll be minimizing the inefficiencies by doing the better design and analysis. Then the next thing is speed. Sorry, sorry. What happened? Yeah. The next one is speed. So here in RoboStructure analysis, we can calculate large and complex structural models to help meet your client demanding project requests. As we can't able we in here in RSA, uh, not only a small buildings, we can do high complexity structure also. The design and analysis of high complexity structures also can be done here in a speedy manner. So engineers can explore many analysis alternatives and make early improvements in their projects. Like we do have, as I said in the before slides, we do have finite element analysis, and we can do a single favor analysis also. So we have more alternative options to do the analysis. So design codes and capabilities for widely used structural materials. As I said earlier, it supports all design codes so that the design codes can be feed into your project, and you can do the analysis and design in a more speedy way. And the last thing is versatility. Enable smoother workflows. So you can interoperable with an open API. So you can develop the APIs into a software and you can make the things. Can accommodate even complex crime projects. So now you can take additional projects which are not which you didn't take in your previous cases. Now you can take any complex buildings for the design. As you have RSA in your hand, you can take anything for doing the design. So for all countries, for all geographies, it includes for all countries and all geographies. As we said earlier, it supports all codes and all languages. So it's not an only one world, one country code is available here or not, something like that. It has all countries codes. So these are all the top benefits of top key features of our robot structure analysis. So as you all know, we can do design analysis for reinforced concrete design module and steel design module and for timber design module also. So we can do analysis and design for timber also. So here, as we discussed before, powerful and more flexible analysis. We are having more analysis kinds here, types here. So like advanced finite element automation. So it has wide range of analysis capabilities and powerful analysis solvers. So we do support all type of analysis here in RSC. So country, as I'm saying repeatedly, country specific support and reporting. We do have all languages inbuilt and all units inbuilt and all codes. So country specific preference and codes, extensive output of analysis results. We can get our outputs in a DWG manner, or we can get an outputs in an Excel. We can bring the outputs to the Excel. So this is the solution we provide in Autodesk. So the solution which gives you faster calculation and simulation of complex models, minimizes inefficiencies, but by enabling the analysis and designs to stay synchronized, enhances collaboration and structural workflow from design to analysis. So you will be getting these solutions when you are having robo structure analysis in your. So by using robo structure analysis, a designer can be easily collaborative with their modeler, and they'll be getting reduce of their work. Like they don't want to model the things again. The interoperability between the softwares will be good. There will be no data losses between the modeling software and the designing software. You can directly bring your modeling model into a designing software, and you can do the designs, and the results will be directly brought back to the native software. So the results will be directly brought back to your native tool where you done the modeling. Yes, now we have shown the PPT kind of thing which what RoboStructure analysis can do. Now I will show you a live demo on the software, how it can how it is going to handle the things, and what are all the key features which we saw there in the PPT we'll be seeing there in the software. Yes. Let me open the robo structure analysis. Now the current version running in Autodesk is 2021. Autodesk have released 2021 versions. All can install 2021 versions and update yourself. Yeah, this is the basic, this is the interface of robot structure analysis. This is a startup page of robot structure analysis. Here you can see the recent projects. As in all Autodesk softwares, we'll be having the recent projects here, and we'll be having the open projects and new projects here. As in Revit, we'll be having template based, right? So in Revit, we'll be having template based openings. So for architectural structure and MEP, we'll be having different templates. Like the same, we do have a template based projects here in RoboStructure analysis. You can see these are all the templates available to use to open your project. So as you see in the first thing, it's a building designs template. Mostly for RCC kind of structure, we'll be using this template. For a steel structure, we'll be using this template frame 3D design. And for a type of any shell or shell designing or something like that, we'll be using this. You can easily identify those things. When you keep a cursor on that particular image, you will be defined what type of template it is. Now, if I keep my here, it's frame 2D design. So these are all the different templates available in RoboStructure analysis. When you're going to create a new project, you should know which type of template you should open. So that kind of options will be available in your templates. Yeah. Now we are going to see a five-story building, how the things work on it. So I will open a building design template. So this is the basic user interface of RoboStructure analysis. As in all Autodesk software, you will be having ribbon toolbar and you will be having application menu here. Here we'll be having the object inspector. What are all the entities I'm going to draw here? All the things will be visible over here in the object inspector. All the elements which I'm going to draw in my drawing space will be visible over here in the object inspector. Yes, the next one is layout toolbar. In layout toolbar, we'll be having the option to switch it from the result page or from geometry page to result page or result page to geometry page. We'll be having the options over here in the layout toolbar, and this is the structural toolbar where you can see the whole workflow, how the robot is going to work or how the design you're going to make. See, starting from the grid, we'll be having all the options to adding the materials, and we'll be having the options to adding the supports, then loads, and then the results. So here you can see the total workflow of your design. So if you're going to model it newly, you're going to start from the grid and going to come until the results page. So this is the view menu where you can control the view of drawing space. Here you will be having the story wise definitions. So story wise you can able to switch it over, and here the view wise. So in which view you are going to see. Now I'll open a model through which we are going to see the things. Before that, I want to show you the coach and all. As we discussed earlier, robot is meant for its country coach, right? So all country coach, as I said earlier, all country coach are available here, and you can switch over all languages internationally and units. So we will see the basic things of that as it is a demo. We can see the basic things of all the tools which we have in robotics analysis. E- Here we'll be having two things, preferences and job preferences. Before starting up any project in robot, before starting up a steel design or a concrete design, you should come to the job preferences here and set the country, in which country you are going to the design is going to happen, and the coach, which country coach you are going to use, and which units you need to be specify in this page. The first one is preferences. Here we'll be setting up the languages, regional settings. So as we all are as we are in India, I'll be setting the English coach here, and the parameters. So these are all the general parameters. As you see in AutoCAD, the options and all will be there, right? So these are all the general parameters, like languages and general parameters will be there in the preferences. You can save this general parameters and you can use it for all of your projects. Yes, I'll give accept. Yeah, we have set our general parameters. Now coming to the job preferred parameters, that is project parameters. So what are all there in the job preferences? And job preferences, as I said earlier, you can change the design codes and you can change the units and formats here. So like I'll select the units and formats here. So if you want metric, you can select metric so that the all units here will be changed to metric. If it is in feet and inches, imperial, we can switch to imperial here. Then if I open it, you can see all the dimensions. So what type of dimension? Structure dimension, then section dimension, properties, how the property should be there, whether it should be in centimeters or meters. If it is metric, means you'll be having centimeters, meters, and millimeters, right? So which type of unit should be there? This E is nothing but how many after 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 point how many decimals should be coming. So that is about the E here. So you can set your project specified units here, and like forces, like dimensions, we'll be having forces also. You can set your forces here. Then it's materials. So we will be having materials country based, right? So for an example, if it's in concrete, means we'll be having country based mixes. So here in India, we'll be following M10, M20, M30. Like for steel, we'll be having FI 4, F 415, 500, 550. Like structural steel, we'll be having E250, like that we'll be having, right? So for every country, it will be differing. So here in the materials, as I said earlier, we will be having all countries listed over here. Let me select the Indian. So can you see? So as per the Indian codes, we are having the materials here for concrete, for aluminum, and for timber. So you can ask me a question that can I change after setting up here, or can I change while I'm working in the project for different materials, different elements? I will be having different mix ratios. Yes, you can do that also. This is the base where you are going to set for an whole project. If you want to change it, you can set as a material wise also. Yes, this is for materials. Then in databases, if you expand it, here you will be you have to define the code books. So steel and timber sections, what type of code book I'm going to use. Here we'll be having adding a new code book. Here default code books are there here. So I'm going to click this button. Here India will be there. IS 808 is the code book which we use for steel structures, right? So I'm going to select IS 808. Then I'm going to bring it top so that this code book will be assigned to this project. Then like vehicle loads, ASTO and IRC will be there. Can you see the IRC here? Yes, we'll be having IRC. Then I will make it as default for this thing. So like that for all the things we'll be having different code books, right? So we can select what type of code books for which type of materials. Like for reinforcing bars, we'll be having for RCC, we'll be having IS456, right? So here let me select IS456. All the codes will be there here in robot, so there will be no problem. So then the next one is design codes, right? So in the design codes, let me select here also. There I'm adding the database. Here I'm going to select the code books. So steel or aluminum sections, as we defined over there, here also we should select IS 808. It's there, IS 800, it's there. So I'm going to select it and OK. So here in the steel connection, we don't have any steel connections. Indian codes for steel connection. Let me proceed with European codes for timber structures. Let me proceed with this code. For RC structures, we'll be having IS 456, right? So I'll see whether it is there. Yeah, it's there. So like this, we have to set up the codes first. For geotechnical, let me skip that. So then if you expand it, you'll be having for code combination, for wind load, for seismic load, what type of code books we are going to use. For code combinations, we'll be using IS 875, right? IS 875 part 5 we'll be using, set as current and give OK. Like that, for wind loads, we'll be having the code book here, the same IS 875 part 3. I'll make it as current. Seismic loads, we'll be having the codes IS 1893, right? Yeah, I'm having IS 1893 here, set as current, and then give OK. Okay, this is the first step to start your project. Here in Robot, you want to make your code books and you want to start the project with the job preferences. What I'm going to now do is I'm going to save this preferences so that for every project I'm going to start, I don't want to make these things repeated. So it will be a waste of time, right? So I'm going to save these parameters so that while I'm opening a new template, like see what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this current. Like here we'll be having an option called save job preferences, where I will say on desktop, I'll be named as my pro. Okay, let me save it. So my pro is the thing, I'm saving it and I'm giving it okay. Let me skip it to Excel. Okay, what I'll do is I'll open a new template. Now this project is completed, my next project have been received. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open a new template again. I need to do the preferences again or not. So this is our question now. We don't want to do because we have saved our preferences, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the saved preferences. My saved preferences name is, you can share that preferences also to other PC or to other person. See, if you bring down this, can you see my pro? So this is what we have saved, right? So if I keep it to my pro, all the things which we have made there will be accessed here. Now, all the things, all the codes, all the units which we have made there has been brought to this project also. So the first step here in Robot is setting up the job preferences and the general preferences. Now what I will do, I will open a model. So if I do the modeling, it will take time. So I'll open a simple model. This is modeled in Robot only. So you can see the plan view of the model. Let me quickly go to the 3D view of the model. I'll enable the materials here. Can you see it's a composite structure which has steel members in its top and concrete members in its top, and it is fixed in the end. And you can see the lift part for here, which is made of RC walls. We have given the RC walls for it. So the modeling part, as you see here, the grids have been defined and the stories have been defined. And as I said earlier, here you can switch the views. Can you see XZ views, XY views, and here you can switch it to story wise things. So story 1, story 2, or if I need to go to 3D view means I can come to 3D view. All the modeling tools are simple, as like in all Autodesk platforms we'll be having the simple modeling tools, right? So just pick and drop only, pick and drop and drag. We can do the modeling part easily. Now let me explain how to carry out the analysis and design, how we can see the results, how fast the results are getting, we are getting the results. Yes, now if you see, give me a minute, let me delete this load. Yes, I will delete the load and I will apply it again. If you see here, it's load types, right? Yeah, I'll give a delete all here. Close. Now if you see, there is no load defined here, just we have completed our modeling part. Now the next part is to do the analysis. We want to assign the loads, right? So dead loads and live loads and wind loads and seismic loads, we have to assign it. So I didn't apply any loads here. The beauty of Robot is, just by running it once, dead load will be assigned to all the members which we have drawn here in the model space. For all the members, the self weight will be calculated automatically. We don't want to calculate and apply the loads here. So this is one of the beautiful feature of Robot, where you don't want to apply the dead load, that is the self weight of the member. It will itself calculate the self weight of the member and the load will be created. There is no load here. Now in the project, I am going to run my first run. So it will take some time as per your project weightage. So as per your members, so how many members are there in the project and what are the criticalities, it will take some time to make the run, and it depends on your system spec also. So if you go to a Autodesk knowledge network, uh, there will be a system spec for each and every software. If you are going with the correct system spec, the things will be smoother, but it depends on your project size also. So both the things you should take care. So now our analysis have been completed. It just took few seconds, right? So it just took few seconds. There is no errors in it, just a warning. We can ignore the warning. Now you can see the beauty here. The dead load has been applied automatically. We didn't do anything. We have just run our first run. The dead load have been applied automatically. Let me show load symbols. Yes, can you see the red color here? So this describes the load has been applied. So the dead load has been applied for each and every individual members. So I didn't apply I didn't calculate anything, and I didn't apply the loads here. The robot itself applied the self weight for each and every members. Now our next target is to how to apply the loads here in robot structure analysis. Yes, application of loads is easier than any other tool. I can assure it to the core. Application of loads and doing the things, modeling the things is easier than in any designing tools. So first, before assigning the loads, we should define what type of load it is. So to define the loads, here we'll be having a term called load types. So here we have to define which type of load you are going to add. So I'm going to add live load now. I'm going to give add. So I am going to add two types of live load. So I'm going to create two types of live load. You can name it what name you want. You can name it. Yes, I'm adding it. It will be in a order like LL1, LL2, LL3, LL4. If you want to edit it, you can edit it here. I'll give close. Now we'll be having DL1 and LL1 and LL2. For LL1, I'm going to apply a beam load here. See, before that, I want to show you the properties, how the properties and all you can change. See, here we are having a column. So if we select the column, here the properties of the column will be visible in the left side. Can you see? It's 45 by 45 column. That is 45 centimeter by 450 by 450 column. And the things are here, the length of the column, and you can see the gamma angle, that is angle rotated of the column. So if you want to edit anything, yes, we can edit here itself like that. What is the beam here they have defined? Like, can you see IP 330 is a section, that is an European section. You can change the things now also, like clicking this. We'll be having all the terms here. If you want to change anything, yes, you can change in the mid of the project also after the modeling done. So these, like this, like in all Autodesk softwares, we'll be having the properties box here. You can select the things and you can change it. It's a parameter software, so you can change anything and anyway at any time. So what I will make is here, let me make this as a concrete beam for doing the analysis, like this one, right? So what we will do, we will change this section as beam 30 by 50. Okay, so now this is a concrete beam and we do have concrete columns here. What I will do, I will add my LL1 here. Now we have defined what type of load it is. Now I'm going to assign the load. So for LL1, I'm going to give whether it is an point load or whether it is an UVL or UDL. So here we'll be having a term called load definition, right? So in the load definition, we'll be having node loads and bar loads and surface loads. Like node loads, it's point load. Like bar loads, it's UDL, UVL. We'll be having UDL, UVL here. What type of load we want, we can add that load. Like I'm going to add an UDL load, so I'm going to select this UDL. Here you can see the coordinates. you want to refer to this coordinate, what type of, this is a global coordinate used here in RoboStructure analysis. So Z is vertical and X is horizontal and Y is the other direction coordinate. So I'm going to add the load in from the top, right? So I'm going to add a live load from the top. So I'm going to take the load in Z. So I'm going to put the load as -2, add. So for this member, so we have selected this member. So the number of that member is visible here. So I'm going to give apply. If you want to select the other member, if you select this, the member number will be changed. Can you see? It's adding the things continuously. So if you select the member, the load will be applied to that member. So it's an easy process to apply the load here. So we have applied a load for LL1 case, right? So I'm going to apply a load for LL2 case. So then again selecting the LL2 here, then coming back to load definition. Yes, again I'm going to add a bar load and I'm going to add a UDL load. I'm going to add a load for my column. So in which side I'm going to add the load? In X direction I'm going to add the load, right? What I will do, I'll make this as 0 and in X direction I'll give a load of 2 kilonewton per meter. Add, I'm going to add the load for this column. Can you see the load have been added? So just I'm going to close. So these are all the things where you can play. It's an easy things to apply the loads and do the load combinations and all. Then the next thing will be combinations, right? So the next thing will be combinations. Here we'll be having two type of combinations here: manual combinations and automatic combinations. Automatic combinations is nothing but as per the code we have given there. In the job preferences we have given a combination codes, right? So IS 875 part 5. So as per that, it will take how many cases we have added. For all the cases it will create a combinations. If I click automatic combinations, can you see here, as per this code it will be adding, if I give full automatic combinations, 24 set of combinations will be added. So this is other feature of the robot where other software doesn't have this feature. Here you can have you can create the combinations easily using our code book. So now I am not going to focus on the combinations. I'll just run this and we will go to the design part. Yes, now I'm going to run with this loads. I have applied two type of loads, right? I have applied live loads, two type of live loads. I'm going to do the analysis check now. So I'm going to run the calculation. Now, after the calculation gets over, after the analysis gets over, we'll be getting the analysis results like SFD and BMD. We'll be getting the SFD, BMD, and we'll be getting the reactions. So with that reactions, we can switch over to design and we can do the things. The application of loads and load combinations have been done. Next, the run analysis check is going on. You can see how much number of elements it's getting checked and how much space it's taking. Just in a second, it has been completed the analysis. There is no errors. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the analysis results. So here in the layout bar, we'll be dropping this and we'll be going to the results tab. In the results, I'm going to click results diagrams. So we can see the results wholly and we can see the results partly also. Like if you want to see the forces and the bending moments where it acts, I'm going to give all here. And what I will do, I will make it as with labels differentiated and it will be a filled case. It will be, I thought this will happen. So we will make this as none. Can you see? The SFD and VMD, what I will do is I will get a particular member here. So I'll select this beam. Let me open in a new window, apply. Can you see here? I'll make you to go close. Window. Yes. So for this, we will make the labels. Can you see? how fast the analysis and the results have been came. See here you will be having the results over here. Then the results can be printed also using this options. Here we'll be having the options to print the results and all. So prepare results. Here you can take this results to the Excel also, Excel based thing and a Word format. Like here we saw the bending moment and shear force, right? So if you want to see the deformation over here or something like that, all kind of results will be available here. Like for foundation we'll be having reactions, right? So to know the reactions, what we will do, we will take one column. So I'll take this column and reaction here. Let me open in a new window, apply. Yes, what I will do, can you see the deformations? So then we'll go to the reaction tab, all reaction with the descriptions, apply. Can you see the reactions? So these type of analysis results can be taken from the model and it can be exported to your Excel format or something like that. The deformations can be done, the displacements, that is how much displacements is there in the beams and columns, it will be known. So these kind of results can be expected here in the robust analysis. If you want to see what I will do, I will normalize the view. So then there will be an option to see the maps. That is for slabs and for the walls, we will be having maps. Here you can see if I want to see the moments in the shear wall means. So I'm going to give it as apply. Can you see the moments have been added here? If I want to see the values, I don't want the colorful representation. I want the values mean. Yes. So this is how the analysis results can be taken from the RoboSection analysis, like in a pictorial representation and in a Excel representation also. So this is what about. I'm saying all the things in a brief manner only. I didn't get fully into onto it. So if you want to know fully about it, please keep in touch with me. Get me a mail, drop me a mail so that I'll be coming on one-to-one session and I'll be explaining about the software and how capable it is to do the results and all. Now we will switch over to the geometry page. Switching over to geometry page. Now we are going to, now we have ran our analysis run. Now the next one will be how we can do the design check. Before the design, we want to see how the wind loads can be applied here, right? So the wind load application, it will be in a 3D format and as same as the dead load, we don't want to apply any load, any kind of loads here. Just by giving the zonal factors, the loads will be applied automatically. So in analysis, sorry, in loads, we'll be having wind load simulation, generate wind loads. Like in every software we can give for the wind loads can be generated for only 4 direction, but here in our software it can be generated for 8 directions. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. All the corners can be covered here in the wind load. So here the parameters, like we'll be having velocities and pressure, right? So as per the zones, the velocities will be getting differed. In Chennai the velocity will be 50 meter per second. So let me apply 50 here. So you can see the wind pressure below wind velocity will be changed automatically when I give the wind velocity. So I am giving x plus direction, and can you see what I will do? I will make it as 50. Can you see here the wind pressure will be changed automatically. So so you want to calculate your velocity and just give the velocity here so that the pressure will be calculated automatically. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run in single direction. If I run in all the direction, it will take some time. It will take more time because the complexity and the weightage of the project is high. Not the complexity, the weightage of the project is high. So I'm going to give start. Now you can see the pictorial representation how the wind is going to hit our building. So there will be an option to close the open spaces also. See, like in this direction, the wind is going to hit. So these elements will be getting the things. So in this direction the wind is coming. So you can see the pictorial representation graphs. So how much pressure have been generated on each element. So what I will do is it will take some time. I will do the instant generate loads, but it's not the correct method to do the thing. We should wait patiently until the wind load gets completed. Now I will skip this step so that the load will be generated instantly. So I'll give OK and I will give close. Now by going to that load X plus, I can see, can you see in the X plus direction the loads have been applied here. If you want it with values, yeah, it's sorry for it. Let me close it. Yeah, it will be with the value the wind loads have been applied there. So can you see the wind loads have been applied in the X plus direction? If you have applied in X minus and the things, it will be the same. So the pressure on the elements have been pictorially represented here. So we have completed our analysis. Now the next job is to do the design, right? So I'm going to take a single part of the single part of the building. I'm going to take a single beam and single column for the design part now, as we don't have so much time. I'll be taking this beam, the selected beam. I'm going to go to the design and provide reinforcement of RC elements. We don't have any codes for it, right? So we don't have any combinations of loads. So we are going to make the design for the simple case. Just I'll give OK. Now what has been saying that the member has been came here. So we have that member specified over there. The material of the member is this. If you want to change anything, yes, you can change here also. Now we'll be having some parameters to be defined. Here we'll be having the first one will be calculation options. So here we want to set the parameters. So if you look into the software, if you open the software and if you look into this options, you'll be uh, getting the things. So what type of parameters is this? What should be the minimum bar should be used, maximum bar should be used, what should be the shape of the bars. So like that, we'll be having some parameters here. You can adjust the parameters and you can make use how the design should be. So these parameters and all we want to set it first, and we can save these parameters like job preferences. We can save this for parameters also. Now what I will do is I will go with the basic. I'll go to the defined parameters. The parameters which is defined by robot. I'll go with that parameter. You can see into this option the structural toolbar. You can make use of these parameters and you can run the design check. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the design check. I'm going to give calculate. Now you can see the design has been happening. Now we'll be getting the results of this beam. So I'll give OK. Some warning has been showing here. So now what I will do, I'll go to the beam diagrams where you will be having how the BMD and SFD has been applied. You'll be having the drawings, and in the reinforcement panel, the reinforcement of the beam would have been applied. So I will zoom in. Yes. Can you see? The reinforcement have been applied and the results of the reinforcements have been put up here. So you can see the main top 12 mm diameter and the number of 10, and you can see the cross section over here. Can you see? Yes, we have completed our design in a few minutes. So not in a few minutes, but as per the project, we will be taking some time to rearrange this parameters and all and to run the design. Like we'll be having a beam node where you'll be having all the results of it, all the checks which we have run now, and at last we'll be having the material takeoffs also. So what are all the checks that have been made by the design check? Yes, you can see here that material properties, what material we have applied and what type of check it has made, and the beam diagrams, the results of the beam, the results of the design. We can take this out in a Word format or in an Excel format also, like the reinforcements, what have been applied over there, and at last material takeoff. So how much concrete volume will be required to cast that beam, and what is the form of quantity required to cast the beam. Good, right? So this you can take a printout also, like here we'll be having calculation note, and if I give OK, it will be saved in your system. Like, see, can you see? Okay, now we have completed our beam reinforcement. Like this we can do for columns and we can do for the slabs. Like now I have shown for the RCC elements, right? Like if you want to be, it should be seated in a drawing manner. You want to take it to AutoCAD or something like that. Yes, we can do that also. Here we'll be having drawings like the cross sections and the plan of the beams, beam with the reinforced bars will be seated in a layout. This you can edit the layouts and all, and you can export it as an AutoCAD file, and you can open in your AutoCAD, and you can make the editing values also. Good option, right? Yes. Okay. So like this we can do for our columns, slabs, and now I have shown a part of RC designing, right? So like this we can do for structural steel also, and then it is meant for composite also. So we can do the structural code checks, and we can do the connections. Yes, we can do connections also. As the time is limited, I will end with this concrete designing. Like in this beam, I have shown how the beam column will work and all. So let me take another session on how the structural steel designings we can do here in robot. I will end the session here. Please do put your questions in the chat box. If you have any doubts, kindly ping us. As you all know, we have shared our mail IDs and all. I will share my mail ID in the chat box also. You can mail me whatever the questions you have, or if you want a demo on this robot structure analysis, or if you want to try this, if you have any doubts on this, yes, you can contact us. We will be help. We are here to help you out on the things. Please do subscribe our channel. Thank you.